So, hello and welcome to this email marketing masterclass. This is everything you need to know about email marketing right at your fingertips. I'm Tim Hyde, the Chief Fixer at Win More Clients. So let's get into it without further ado. There's me. I started my journey in digital marketing way back in 1998. In fact, when I did IT at uni, there was no internet at all. That was kind of funny. I founded a social media site before it was called social media and built that to 20 million visitors a year in my hometown of Canberra with 400,000 people. Since then, I've consulted to almost 1,000 clients in 26 countries. I'm a multi-award winner in business and I love to cook. I must be okay because I'm still on my first wife. Okay, so here's what we'll cover today. We're going to look at the 3 different types of emails that you want to use in your email marketing campaigns. 5 different types of email campaigns you might want to consider, email marketing best practices, and of course, some email KPIs that you want to keep your eyes onto. Now, let's put the elephant in the room. Email marketing is not dead. Now, if you've heard before that email open rates are getting really low, that's largely because we're sending out stuff to people who don't really want to receive it. Some of our private clients have email open rates of up to 80% and 85%, which is incredible. Now, those are not necessarily typical results, but certainly achievable with email marketing today. Now, here's why you need email marketing, right? It's ubiquitous. It's everywhere, right? We all use it. In fact, everyone has at least one email address. A lot of us have multiple email addresses, and we check it without necessarily realizing it. 2020, right? 293.6 billion emails are sent a day. And the average return on email marketing still, for every dollar we spend on email marketing is around $42 to $44, right? For every dollar we spend on it, right? So a good tool to have in your arsenal, right? Open emails for welcome emails, 82%. Personalized subject lines generate 50% higher open rates. Just 3 abandoned cart emails, right? 69% more orders than a single email. So that could actually massively change your conversion rate on and return on investment around those. And videos added to email engagements, increase engagement by 300%. All right. Now, here's a cool one. Almost 50% of consumers would love to receive promotional emails from their favorite brands. And if you can position yourself in that space, you're doing really well. Let's fly through this. Okay, so let's look at those 3 types of emails. We've got some examples here. Now, just remember that emails are just tools. So just as you wouldn't use a screwdriver, hammer, and a nail, you want to use the right email for the right occasion. So let's look at those 3 very quickly here. First one, transactional emails. Second one is promotional emails. And third one is content or value emails. Let's drill into those in more detail. Okay, so transaction emails, typically these sorts of things: logins, invoices, receipt, cancellation requests, shipping notifications. Okay, typically they're going to come out from a customer service team, not necessarily from Tim at Win More Clients. It might come from, hello or info at Win More Clients, or no reply or something like that. Okay, we often forget to put these in, and we're so used to these things in our daily lives that particularly these automated transactional emails, they happen without us even thinking about them. Now, let's have a look at a couple. Okay, so here's one here for Hoyts. This is my tickets for Deadpool back in last year when we could actually go out to the movies. Of course, there's another one for our pizza order there. Okay, transactional emails, just confirmation that our transaction has been done. Here's a couple more, right? This one is for Keep, right? This might be our login email to our application, or a 0, right? So how do we get into our password, into our account there? Right? Forgotten passwords, 0 subscriptions, and so on. Here's a couple more, right? So an invoice receipt from Surge, or something like Equifax, right? It attaches your invoice for this month's payment. So we can have those sorts of things as well. Let's move on. Let's have a look at promotional emails. Now, promotional emails is obviously where you're going to drive either qualified sales leads or actual sales themselves, right? So they're generally some form of marketing or promotional email. And they're copywriting heavy. This is where you can get real value in employing a copywriter into your business, right? And that's where you want to sort of have those ones, okay, and good investment, right? Often we'll see, you may have heard Gary Vaynerchuk talks at jab, 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 right hook, right? So you don't want to do these all the time, but you do want to input them into your email repertoire on a pretty regular basis, okay? Let's have a look at these. Let's have a look at some of these ones here. Okay, so this one's from Marketing Boost. All right, so this is obviously an invitation to today's webinar. All right, here's another one. Right, this is Michael Griffiths and Taki Moore here. Michael, really short one. It's what we call a 9-word email, coined by Dean Jackson originally. Are you still looking to get more referrals into your business? And Taki's got a little bit longer version of that. It says, starting a new coaching group this month. Do you have these requirements? Reply to this, and you're going to get in. Right. So these are going to generate, sales leads for the business. Here's another one here. Right. This is going straight into an order thing. Right. Ask me anything. Starting right now. Okay. This was from David Siteman Garland. All right, so here we go. Join the Rise in the Circle right now. Okay, so you can just click on that and you'll go straight to a sales page to get into David's community. Okay, last but not least, of course, we've got content emails. Now, these emails are typically some form of content, and this is going to be the bulk of the communication that you send out to your prospects. This is going to provide value in advance, right, and nurture that relationship with both your prospects, customers, and potentially even other relationships you might have for people in your CRM system. So it could be partners and staff as well, right? So typically things like newsletters, free resources, product highlights, are all great, or product updates even, great types of content to use. Showcases in there, customer, examples are really good ones for use in here, right? Obviously you can click through and email opens, right, to ensure that your customer is getting value from your content. Really important, of course, in here is I don't know if you can actually see my mouse moving around, really important in here that we actually set some expectations on how often that your customers are going to receive these content emails on a regular basis as well, right? You'll find that if you say we, sign up for our weekly, value email to learn this sort of stuff, we get better results than just give me your email address and I might send you something sometime. Okay, here's a couple of examples, all right? There's the dog going off. All right. So here's a couple of examples. This is one of my welcome emails. All right. Before I introduce myself, this is myself and my wife and my son. This is just after my wife's stroke a few years ago. But I'm trying to add value in this communication as well. Right. So here's a study on LinkedIn. 9 out of 10 businesses struggle with their cash flow sometimes or most of the time. All right. That's quite a lot. Right. So, but what's the 10% doing? Here's another one. Hey, Tim, this is obviously to me. I've sent it to myself. It is a bit blurry. That's because I've blown it up for this particular exercise here. Hope you find it well. All right, here we go. Most businesses have a hope and luck strategy. All right, we'll constantly wonder where their next business opportunity is going to come from. And one of the things often we do with our value emails, we start to tell stories, and that can be really valuable in getting people to kind of see how it works. All right, here's another one from Ryan Dice. Okay, all right, tell me if this sounds familiar. Okay, starts off with a question, really cool. Brand new campaign, small budget. Day after 2, you have a clear winner, volume small, blah, blah, blah. But as the scales, it doesn't work. What happened? Okay. So it's actually starting to get you thinking about it. Again, a couple more from Michael and Taki here. Let me ask you something. Life is crazy, right? Really putting lots of story and kind of communication there, right? Obviously using quite a lot of metaphor in their business and in their communication to illustrate, in this case, right, marketing and business points. Okay, let's move on. Let's look at the 5 types of email campaign you might want to consider in your business, right? Obviously, welcome email campaigns. We talked about that just a moment ago. Okay, so this is for your new subscribers to start managing their expectations. Okay, so timely. Make sure it's immediate. You're not going to wait 2 days, 3 days to do that sort of stuff. Have a ski clap at fast. So welcome your new subscribers and say, hey, welcome to our email list. Personalized greeting, right? We talked about earlier that having your name in the subject line is really important, and you can do that come over here, dog. Okay, you can put that into the subject line to make it more personalized, give them a next step. Okay. Now, if you ever watch the news at 6 o'clock in the evening, they do those sorts of things. They'll say, coming up after the break, this is what's going to happen next. And we can do that in their email campaigns as well. And obviously, get people to attend, to join onto your social media as well. Means they'll start seeing you in multiple different channels. Okay, let's look at engagement or conversion email campaigns. These ones you'll notice some very similar sorts of things. Again, be personal, right? From the first person, not to the third person, right? Tell stories. We talked about that before, right? Stories really engage people and they can start to see themselves in that transformation that you're talking about. Strong call to action is important. Mobile friendly, okay. We wanted that because lots of people read emails on their mobile phones these days or their cell phones, right? And link your images, right? So a lot of times we'll put links in. Make sure that those links go to somewhere as well. All right, next one is Ascension email campaigns. And these drive people to upsells or incentivize early subscription updates, right? So make sure it's logical, right? Don't give someone upsell that doesn't apply to them, and then speak to the benefit, not the process. This is the mistake that a lot of people make, not speaking to the benefit, right? So what is it and how is it going to help your customers achieve their goals if they get that upsell? These ones are important as well. Segmentation email campaigns. It's getting people to sort of raise their hand or put them into different groups. One of the big reasons that we get really low email open rates is we treat all of the people on our list exactly the same, and they're not, okay? So we can actually sort of find different information about demographics using quizzes, email engagement, active and inactive, by geographic area, right? By amount spent or past purchase or previous behavior. And by putting links in and tagging and segmenting your database, subject another conversation, you can actually start to kind of get a more personalized response an email that goes out to your prospects, right? And make them feel like they're really valued. All right, last but not least, let's look at re-engagement email campaigns. All right, so this is where we actually looking at how we keep your customers on your list. Now, it's okay to remove people from your list. If they don't want to hear from you, let them go, right? Sometimes I see people trying to hide the unsubscribe button. Okay, that actually damages your ability to get your emails into the inbox of your customers. And that's one of the most important things we can do. Not about having 20,000 people, most of whom don't read. We prefer the 100 or 200 or 300 or 1,000 or whatever who are going to get it, right? So it keeps your spam rates low, make sure you aren't missing out on leads, and good for list hygiene. Okay, so it lets you know who to remove. All right, so let's look at some best practices now. Firstly, don't run 2 monetization campaigns at the same time. Okay. Largely this means we're actually kind of not trying to sell 2 people at the same time. As a good rule, confused buyers don't buy. And if we try to sell them 2 things at the same time, they're going to get confused over what they're actually purchasing, and they're probably likely to lose interest and unsubscribe. Second one, when to host webinars, right? Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Right? Most people have a bit of bandwidth in the middle of the week. Right? Friday, they're trying to get out of there. Monday, they're going, oh my God, there's so much stuff to do and they're somewhat overwhelmed. Right? So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, you run webinars and webinar style email campaigns. Right? So likewise for sales, Wednesday and Thursday. Okay. Make sure that you're coordinating with your sales teams so that they know when they're likely to get appointments. And you want to send out emails usually around 9 a.m. Now, your audience may slightly differ, depends on who you're trying to reach, but do consider that for most businesses, you probably want to try and send out 9 a.m. And a lot of good CRM systems now will actually allow you to send out in your customer's time zone, right? Not necessarily 9 a.m. where you are. We're now in a global audience, so we can have people from just about anywhere in the world. We want to kind of hit their inbox at around 9 a.m. Monday to Thursday. It's the best time to get them out there. Okay. Now, split your email list at least into these 2 segments, engaged and unengaged, right? So no purchase. I'm going to say no purchase here, but I would also put no engagement in here, right? So engagement means they haven't opened or clicked or filled out a form or stuff, right? So we want to sort of split those 2 groups up into different lists as well. All right. Make sure, there we go. Make sure your email marketing campaigns are aligned with your company's promotion calendar. Now, this seems fairly obvious. Doesn't always happen that way. We just want to make sure that the people in all of your different areas of marketing, or if it's just you, you've got it pretty clear in mind about when you're running big promotions. So a good idea to plan those big rocks out in advance of your calendar and know when you want to kick off your marketing campaigns. And potentially, as we talked about earlier, stop other campaigns from happening at the same time. All right, last but not least, let's have a look at a couple of metrics you should be tracking. First one, open rates, that's fairly important. Click rates is obviously people clicking on links in your emails. click to open rates. Okay, so it's the next one. Unsubscribe and spam. We want to keep that to minimum as possible. So guys, hopefully that's really helped you today. Appreciate you joining us for this super quick email marketing masterclass. If you'd like to know more, reach out to us at Win More Clients, and we'll be able to help you set up your email marketing to be more effective and convert more customers with less effort.